Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Under Construction. My name is Lamlela, your host, and I'm super excited about the journey that we have been together as a community, together as a people who want to grow and are growing. And today we're joined by a beautiful guest, one who has been on her journey for quite some time now and has built, I think, a great foundation and is going to continue to build to become one of the standing pillars, I think, in her industry. And so I'm super excited to introduce you guys to her. And like I always say, guys, grab a pen, grab a notebook. This is about growth. So you want to sit down, you want to hear what steps they've been taking. In order to be where they are today, and also what plans they have in place to get to where they know they're going. So I hope that you're excited. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the Facebook page as of yet, no, not the Facebook page, our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, subscribe, like. If you haven't followed us on any other of our social medias, it's Under Construction across all social media platforms. We want to interact and engage with you because you are our community and we want to grow and build with you. But for today, for tonight, I'm introducing to you Mpumi Manyisi, a sport journalist, beautiful young lady, driven, passionate, knows what she's talking about. Have you ever met one of those people who you listen to and you're like, don't know what you're talking about, but you're pretty, but okay. She's not one of those. She's one of those you're like, you're more than a pretty face. And that excites me because I love people who are in different industries that are excelling even in those industries. So Mpumi, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I'm humbled.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us, Mpumi. Your journey is one that truly, truly inspires. And so you're a sport journalist, right?
Yes.
Awesome stuff. And right before we start, who is Mpumi?
Mpumi is a lady from Jabavu, a Soweto white city. Ekaya, my sibling side too, so I'm the only girl. And and otherwise I am just by profession, I'm a journalist. I'm a sports journalist. I'm a content producer. I'm a content creator. I work for Soweto TV. I work for Far Post. I'm a new content creator for Far Post now. And that's basically what I do. So I'm that girl who's always chasing sports stories, always posting stuff on social media with regards to everything that's sports related. And that's just basically me.
Awesome. I can truly attest to that. Listen, I was stalking because this is what I do. I was stalking your Facebook feed, and I was there looking like, nah, guys, it's no, she's really into sport, eh? I was like, yeah, but no, she's really into sport, which is absolutely amazing. But I have to know what drew you one to journalism, and then on top of that, what drew you to sport in journalism?
I think I got into journalism by default. Okay. As well as in sports. I had no plans of being a journalist. I had no plans of doing sports journalism either. I've always wanted to do radio. That's how I got to everything else. So I worked for a community radio station in Soweto, Josie FM. And then I felt like, no, man, I want to empower myself. There's certain things I want to do, enhance what I'm doing. And then I studied journalism at Boston Media. And luckily with Boston Media, you don't focus onto like one module or one subject. There's so much variety that you learn. And first year, I did literally everything that's media related, from marketing to advertising to what else was there? Obviously television, radio, as well as journalism, PR as well. And my third year, I had to choose 3 majors. I chose radio because I was in it because of radio, and I chose journalism because I started realizing that I know how to write. and I was getting good marks through my writing and just journalism. So I don't know kanjani, but it was just like, okay, this thing is coming all right. Maybe I should take it in my second year as my major as well. And then what else? And I took PR. Then in my final year, I had to choose one, and I chose. I still wanted to do radio, but I had to sit down with myself, just looking at jobs that are available for me as a young person, and what is it that I need to do. So I had to be very skillful and smart about it when I had to choose my major. So I thought, okay, let me rather choose journalism. One, because with journalism, I know I can do everything else that I want to do. I can still do radio, I can still do PR, I can still do whatever the case may be. So I know I want to major in radio because I love radio. However, it's not easy from radio to do PR, to do media relations, and to do television, to do other stuffs within the media industry. Then you're confined to that space. Even if you spread your wings, it's not as easy. And I think that's the best decision I ever took, because yes, indeed, as a journalist, I'm able to do all these things. If I can get a job in radio now, and I'm in print, and I'm in multimedia. I just started with Farpost as well. I'm on TV also. I have my own PR company. So literally, it just
you were
covered
able to dive
everything
into
else.
all the market.
Absolutely.
Now, I just want to really now find out from you in terms of making constructive choices, because as individuals, when we're pursuing a particular passion, we're it happens so much that we I'm not moving. I want to go into radio and I'm never going to change. This is what I feel is my calling. You hear some say. But how were you able to go through the process of decisively understanding that no, I can choose a different major from what I wanted, but it will enable me to even go into what I want and more? How do you sit down? What kind of information do you need to make that kind of decision?
I think what got me into that is that I started working before studying, so it made it easy. So I was just like, oh, okay. I was working for a radio station. Was it going to be possible for me to move from a radio station and work for a publication and start my PR company and work for a television station? And I was just like, it's not as easy. And then I was just like, okay, which measure would now enable me to do everything else that I want to do, but all confined in the media space? And I thought, okay, one subject that is a lot more broader is journalism.
Awesome. Now that's actually I love that journey, particularly now that you're in the industry. You've been with Soweto TV for a bit, and you've also now started up your own company, and there's a lot that you've managed to go into. I mean, and you've been awarded, been a nominated, you've really grown into your own, especially with sport journalism. But in the market, what have you felt has been a great lesson that you've learned about the South African media industry, and what are some tips that you'd give an individual who's trying to come up in said industry?
Let me speak about sport broadcasting industry specifically, because so I can at least give expert analysis on that, as opposed to the media industry at large. For sports journalism, it's not a cute industry. If you want to get into sports broadcasting, for one, because we have early mornings, we have late nights. You watch a game until 12 p.m. and maybe you have to wake up for basketball at 2 in the morning. So things like that. and you can't wing it. You have to watch these games. You have to be at games, you know. I can make an example now with Hollywood's Bet Super League, the National Women's League. I used to write about it without going to the games. And I started going to the games recently. And there's a huge difference when you look at my writing, when I used to write about the women's game, just from observing what the media has given us, as opposed to me being there physically. Because when you're there, you get to figure different angles, you get to see things that people don't see on TV. Because with television has its own specific agenda. You know, they don't cover literally everything. They have a mandate as to this is what we want to show. So if you as a journalist would only want to feed from that, you're going to be limited because you are not there. So my advice is be authentic about it. It's not about the freebies and the free flights and and the traveling and whatever. Yes, that's the pack. It comes with that pack. But for you to get that pack, you have to be a sharp journalist who's able to do other things and who's literally very versatile and very fast in their job, and rooted in the craft as well.
Wow, that's absolutely like true, 100%. And what I love about what you just spoke about is that you've been on a journey. Now, I need to know, what are some of things that you've tactfully introduced into you in order to be better?
Your line is breaking. I missed that. Sorry. Can you please repeat the question for me?
Or the question, you craft as a journalist.
Your line is so bad. I don't know, maybe you should write it down for me.
Okay, no problem. I was just asking, what are some of the things that you've had to introduce in your daily life that help enhance your craft?
Oh, okay. One, you network a lot in the journalism space. No man is an island. You have to feed from other journalists. You have to have mentors. Because I don't come from the print background. I have mentors who are in the print journalism space that teach me with regards to that. And so so I don't thumbsuck as to this is how this is how a writer should write like, I ask from the people that have walked the path, that know, that are in that space and have been in that space for many years, and learn from other journals, learn from your peers, look who's doing what and how they're doing it. And I'm not saying copy what they're doing, but learn from good, credible journalists, you know what I mean? And learn to create your own stories, write your own stories, eliminate a copy and paste, test your creativity now and then as to, can I write a story from afresh, and write a story, put it down, and check other publications and see as to how unique your story is, and how unique the angle that you decided to take is, you know what I mean? So those are the things that I personally have implemented. I learn from my mentors, I learn from my peers, and I can't separate me from the world of sports. Literally, it has become a part of me. Each and every day, I must open my phone, check what's online as far as sports is concerned, and I must open on my TV and check on television what are which ones are breaking stories and which ones are developing stories, and where do I fit in everything else that's happening, and how do I make these stories my own? How do I tell them in my own unique, using my own unique narrative? You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that's exactly what I do literally every day. And yeah, and I take it seriously. I can't separate it from me, you know, and I
Yeah.
love it so much. Love and passion, you know, is just the driver. It's the driving force of this whole thing. If you don't love it, it's going to show at some point, you know, because there's a problem. Ooh, somebody's trying to phone me. Yeah, I'm sorry, someone was calling me.
No problem.
So yeah, there's a problem with us as women wanting to get into the journalism space because we've got this perception yoguti it's easy access to sportsmen, you know, it's easy access to freebies, it's easy access to being known and being a celebrity and that sort of stuff. And I need to emphasize this. I don't have to leave this thing what's this Zoom interview without letting you know that journals are not celebs. Journals are not celebrities. So if you want to be a celebrity, make sure that hey, this person is calling me. Hey, make sure that you don't come into the space.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
love the fact that you emphasized on that. And I think another thing, well, this is something that definitely came on my mind when I found out you were a sport journalist, how deep you were in sport. I was like,
Yeah.
where did this female get her passion for sport? And where did the passion for sport? I see how you came into journalism, but the passion for sport, what was the influence?
I've always been a fan of um, sports. I've always been a fan of games. Like I'm the only girl at home, you know, so you can imagine my siblings would always watch games. You know, I've got one cousin who likes cricket and I've got another who likes rugby, which makes it easy. So when I'm with my brothers, because they like football, I used to watch a lot of football. And when I'm with my cousins, I would get exposed to other sporting codes. And that's where the passion began. So when I started getting to that space, it ignited that thing, you know, that's always been there.
Oh, wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now, I need to know, in terms of you now starting your own company, not just being a journalist and working, but transitioning into a content creator. How has that journey been?
I missed that, sorry.
How has you being your journey from translating from just a journalist to a content creator been?
Creator. Oh, all right. That's a very good question because I tell you now, it's something that cracked my head so much because I'm a traditional journal and I don't like these things. I don't like these online things. I don't want to do these interviews and I don't want to be, you know, I don't like these things. I'm a traditional journalist. But considering what's been happening in the whole world with regards to COVID-19, we're forced to be innovative, but we're forced to shift in a digital space, which is now, you know, controlling the entire world, you know. And I thought, can't be left behind. What is it that I can do as a content producer that now speaks to the new normal? And that's the stuff that literally have moved me from traditional journalism into becoming a content creator, because if you're now a content creator, it's easy to put your stuff online. Just now between us, and I'm breaking it here, I'll be doing an online women in football series with Farpost, and you know, first of its kind. And I think people are going to be excited about it because now it's coming from somebody who's been in the space for a longest time, but now we're shifting what we normally write about. We're shifting what we normally make in creative inserts of to now in the online space. And I think it's going to be pretty much exciting. I fought hard to not do it, But now I guess the new normal has now shifted me onto that direction. But I can tell you now that I'm pretty much excited about it.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And like all the best for that. Like wow,
Thank you.
you guys heard it here first on Under Construction.
Thank you.
Now moving on, I just want to find out what have been some of your greatest lessons now that you've even started your own media company per se. What much?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Your line is terrible, but anyways, I think you asked about greatest lessons, né? What are some of the lessons I've learned?
Yes.
That's also another brilliant question, because if you're in a certain sphere or certain industry and you do not learn anything out of it, then why are you there? The lessons I've learned is you can't wing what we're doing. You can't, like you cannot, if you tell stories, you can't wing stories. Your research should be on par, like everything should be done right and accordingly, because if you wing it, somebody's going to see it, that the story is not complete, or the story has been fabricated. If it's not fabricated, it's been stolen from somewhere. And uzoboshwa if you're not doing things right. And that's what I've learned, to do things right and to not cut corners, to take it step by step and do it thoroughly and do it right. I'm not a journalist that breaks stories. I don't break stories. Maybe I will break a story one day, but I don't do that. I'm a journalist that takes you to another story. Now we have a breaking story. I come in and check which unique angle can I share this story nabantu, and then I dig deep into the story. So I'm a journalist who is a storyteller. You got what I'm saying? And that's what I've also learned, that you have to figure out what kind of a journal you are. We're not the same. We don't do things the same. We can't do things the same. Otherwise, the writing industry would be so dull and boring. So you have to bring in an element that reminds people of you. You know what I mean? For instance, I've never done... Yes, I've never done this online thing and online series, but I know for sure that I if it's attached, if that series it is attached with my name, it has my name on it, people already would watch, because they know of umsebenzi wami, the things that I've done in the journalism space, and they know how I dig in and how thorough is my work, and that just makes you a credible journal. That if I do decide to open an online publication, or I do decide to open whatever, then I've got people that would follow me because they know how credible I am, and those are the lessons I've learned. And the fact that you stay in your lane, man, stay in your lane. Don't try to copy abanye abantu. Don't try to be someone else. Just stay in your lane, take it one step at a time. You'll eventually get to where you want to get. And yeah, I think those are the things I've learned.
Wow. And another question right before we come to an end. What's the greatest victory you've had in a male-dominated industry?
My awards, of course. My awards, I've won Community Journalist of the Year. I've won the Woman in Sports Award. Yeah, my awards. I guess my awards, and the fact that I'm not afraid to do what I'm doing, and most journalists are guys. Yes, it's male dominated, in a sense that even when we do press conferences, it's always guys. When we do online conferences, it's always guys. and women get to now shy and be in their cocoon and not want to speak or not want to ask the questions because it's male dominated. But I'm not like that, you know. I come in, I ask the questions, I do my job, and I'm not afraid to do what I'm doing, you know, and I celebrate it and I honor it. And not only that, I respect the craft.
Wow. Mpumi, right before we come to an end, I need to know, if you had to pick one song to depict your life right now, what would it be?
How difficult is that? I think it would be J. Cole, Love Yours. I love everything I've done, and I don't regret most of the things I've done, and I enjoy my journey. I own my story, I own my narrative. So J. Cole, Love Yours.
And if you could do just one favor here at the construction, would you sing the chorus of that song?
I don't even know how to sing, guys. Eric Konje. There's such thing as a life that's better than yours. There's such thing as life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Mpumi. And for our final question for tonight, what's next? Where are you headed to next?
Yes, the online stuff.
Okay.
I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out about it, but in the same token, I'm happy and I'm excited. So it's just, for now it's the online stuff. And also I'm an executive producer, so I create television shows. So I am hoping that few of my shows can get commissioned. I'm just waiting for this corona thing to just disappear so that we can get all the funding we need to be in a space where I'm able to create jobs and also do what I love.
Awesome stuff. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Mpumi, for joining us. You are absolutely, absolutely amazing. I love you. And I mean, more grace, more power, more empowerment to you.
I received. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me.
Well, guys, and that was Mpumi Manyisi here with us on Under Construction, a sport journalist, content creator, producer. I hope that you've been able to learn from her journey. I trust you were able to pick up not just nuggets, but I mean, like full on chicken breast. Like she's got it going on, guys, and she's been on this journey for quite some time. So she understands the principles and the keys that it takes to build strong foundation, strong roots. And so you can have, you don't just want a steady career, but you want one that will be marked by consistent growth. You want one that will be marked by, I mean, awards and people being able to recognize that you've got it going on. So guys, I trust that you really enjoyed that episode. For more information on Mpumi, all her social media handles will be in our bio link below, as well as ours. But from us Under Construction, we love you. Have a great evening. And remember, we'll premiere a brand new episode every single Sunday at 5 p.m.